Hour number 2, National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Sills. Please hit the like button. I'm going to say this again about A.J. Brown here. Grow up, guy. Grow up. You're a $25 million a year guy. I know these wide receivers in the NFL are divas, but you look like a punk. Okay? Be a champion. Act like it. Act like you've been there. Act like you've been there. Calling guys out. If you got a problem with somebody, go to their face and say it. Don't go to Twitter. His shit on the sidelines, I'm tired of it. This is a team. It's not an AJ team. This is what makes Hurts even more important to that, because you got to keep a guy like that controlled. Now, there's a part of me that says this, okay? There's a part of me that says this. I like shit talkers. I do. But, dog, I mean, these are your guys you go to battle with, whether it's Gardner Minshew or not. Saying that you cost the Saints game, well, I'll tell you what, guy. In that Saints game, I didn't see you giving 100% effort on that turnover. You threw your hands up and let the guy run down the field with no effort. You want to be critical? Dude, it's a team sport. This is not bowling or boxing or tennis. Act like a pro, man. Instead of acting like a jerk. Jesus, criminy. You had a great year. You got so many superstar things ahead of you. Career year, actually. Dude, God forbid if the team loses on Sunday, who's he blaming? Guarantee you nothing with him. Good night, man. Dude, I've always believed if you got a problem with a teammate or you got a problem with something, or, I mean, what could you possibly have bitched at in the Giant game? You dismantled the Giants. Been bitching all year. Okay, I mean, I love Devonta. I do. I love Devonta. Dude, you look stupid. Then you have your high school coach doing that same shit. It looks hokey. Looks hokey. Someone goes like this. Hey, Sills, is he lying? That's not the point. If you got a problem, be a man and go tell him privately. I got a problem with what you're doing. Jeremy, Sills, AJ's no. No two. My man, he will be good. Not sure what that means, but okay. By the way, do I think A.J. Brown's not going to have a good – I think A.J. and Deebo Samuel are going to have great games. I do. Dude, just do me a favor. Maybe more so than anything. Here, let me back up and say this. You know, I got a problem with somebody, man. I'm not gonna air my grievance out in public. I'm gonna go tell the guy, hey, look, we can't have that, man. I'm wide open. You got to get me to football. Because if you get me to football, we're gonna do great things. Instead of going like this, that guy cost us the game. That's unprofessional. That's unprofessional. And this guy had a great year. And he's been a great addition. And what I want, watch this. And would I want A.J. Brown on my team? Yes, I would. And, you know, let me put it to you here. This is a coach's responsibility to go up to that guy and pull him off the ledge. I've told you guys this many times. I'd rather pull a guy off the edge than push him to it. AJ's on the edge. So, I don't know, man. There's a part of me that should really love him. And I do. No, he's not Owens. He's not Owens. Owens wasn't wrong about McNabb, but he just went to the media and he opened his fly trap too. That was Terrell Owens' problem. Terrell Owens used social media and reporters as his sounding board. And that's why everyone on the planet had a problem with him. Instead of going up and saying something to him and being a pro and being a teammate. Brian, I agree. I agree, Brian. That's what makes great play. I know. You're not off base. Okay? All right. Let me throw this one at you here. So, how much pressure? Let me see what Tone says. Funny thing about Owens, I bet he said something to McNabb and he still went to the media. I know, right? He probably went to the media first and then went to Owens. See, the problem with Terrell Owens, he had poor timing and poor delivery, and he's not a very good communicator. That's why he can't work in the media. Because what he says, it doesn't land where he wants it to. Owens wasn't wrong about McNabb being petty. His whole entire career, he was petty. He's not wrong there. Was never wrong there. Donovan McNabb is one of the most pettiest quarterbacks of all time, and it cost him winning championships. Taking shots at D-Jacks. Can you imagine being at a Pro Bowl and hearing your quarterback say that guy doesn't deserve being a kick returner and a wide receiver, and the first guy to do that and have that distinction? Can you imagine that? Your own teammate taking a shit on you at the Pro Bowl. Dude, we're in this together and you're barking at me? Batman Goes to Town wasn't big enough for both those egos. I'll take you one better, Batman. I think that huddle wasn't big enough for both those egos. And I think Andy Reid failed in that too. It's a quarterback and a coach's responsibility to make a murderer work in your huddle. Ask Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Okay? Making a lunatic like Antonio Brown and Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich, making it work. That's all your responsibilities. All your responsibilities. And Vet goes, it worked for a minute. Well, that minute was the Super Bowl. Okay? That minute was the Super Bowl. Now, look, again, Juba, he's not massively over the top, AJ. But he doesn't pick his time right. Dude, you're winning ball games and you're killing people. You know what? I tell you something. This is the difference between A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Devonta gets no catches in the Detroit game. Did you guys hear a peep out of him? Can you imagine if A.J. Brown didn't make a catch in a ball game this year? What that would have looked like on the sideline? How do you think that would have went over? Devonta Smith in that Lions game didn't have one catch. Nobody bitched. He didn't bitch. He didn't say a word. He was a professional the whole freaking time. Said nothing. Just kept doing his work. Working hard, being a good dude, being a great teammate, waited for his throws, waited for his targets. Devontae's a professional. AJ's a diva. But again, I'm with you. I don't want to go too over the top with it. But dude, not good. All right. I brought this topic up, and I want to bring it back a little bit here. By the way, hey, Tone, just so you know, again, I just want to make sure everybody, would I want him on my team? A.J. Brown? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to do a lot of coaching for him, though. You got to keep an eye on that. It's okay. If I'm getting that kind of production, he's not insanely destructive. He's not. It's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid. He's not like I said, that's not somebody I'm looking to move. Okay? That's not somebody I want out of here. That's nowhere near that. I want to bring this topic back. How much pressure is on Nick Sirianni on Sunday night? How much pressure do you think that coach is going to face on Sunday night? Now, look, am I going to sit here and I want to bury the lead here? Am I saying Nick Sirianni could be fired come Monday if that team loses? Absolutely not. I'm asking question and decision-making stuff here, okay? Because I'm going to make a point to you. Peter says none. Some of you say zero. Some of you say a lot. Here's why I think there's pressure on Sirianni come Sunday. The more you win, the more trust you have in someone. Would you guys agree to this? The more that Jalen Hurts won, the more they trusted Jalen Hurts' decision-making in games. Would you guys say that that's fair? The more you watch Jalen making decision after decision, after game, after decision, don't you think Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni had a lot more, and it started giving him more autonomy in how he saw the game, more trust? Why do you think they go for it on fourth down? Because you built up equity. You built up trust. Jalen has built up so much trust with his offensive coaches. What is the one thing Sirianni says? The whole shit, he's comparing him to Jordan. When you have that kind of success, your player gets more say in the offense. Okay? They trust him more. You got a lot of talent on that football team on Sunday. A lot of talent. Tone says, I actually think there's more pressure on Shanahan and the Niners. They've been to the NFC title game 3 of the 4 last years and still can't get over the hump. Well, they did go to the Super Bowl but not win, but I feel you. And I know where you are, Tone. I'll get to Kyle here in a minute. This is Howie's coaching staff. This is Howie's roster. This is Howie's quarterback. This is Howie's everything. This is his game. This is Howie vision. Okay? This is how everything's Howie. It's nothing to do with Nick. If Nick wins the NFC title game, he'll start to become Doug Peterson. Would you guys help me out here? Would you guys say that Doug, after the 2017 Super Bowl, was more of an assertive Eagle coach and demanded more things after the 17 Super Bowl? Is that fair? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't have an opinion either way. But was Doug a different coach after they won? He deserved to be more assertive, says Tone. Oh. Patriot says yes. Oh, yeah. So Doug became more assertive. They trusted him more. Why wouldn't that happen with Nick? Nick gets maybe more say in personnel. Nick gets maybe a say in who to draft and who he wants on his team. How about coordinators? If one of these guys becomes a head coach, would he have more say? I don't think he had any say in who was hired. Okay? Look at what Real says. I think Doug wanted to keep Foles and not Wentz. Okay? That's asserting yourself. Right now, Nick Sirianni doesn't assert himself because he's still in a sandbox, the Howie Roseman sandbox. He wins that NFC title game. That opens up for him. Just like with Jalen on a smaller scale. Just like with Jalen, the more he won, the more the coaches trusted him. The more he had say in the game plan, the more they trusted in his decision-making in the RPO. That also translates to coaches. Doug Peterson wanted more say because Doug felt he was important in the 17 win. Well, why wouldn't that work with Nick if Nick wins the NFC title? That's pressure. That coach wants more assertiveness in his own team. That's the one thing, guys, that you'll never get in Dallas. The head coach will never get that autonomy. You don't get rewarded as a coach in Dallas for winning. That's why they don't win. Because the owner takes it all. You get no credit. You get all the blame in Dallas. Steve-O, thank you for coming in, brother. That's right, Yale. Nick gets more power. This is what he's coaching for. Dude, if Nick Sirianni wins the Super Bowl, it's going to be Doug Peterson all over again. I'm not saying that there's going to be an adversarial relationship between Howie and that's not what I'm going at here. I'm saying that if you really want to be a mainstay coach in this league, Andy Reid had guardrails on in Philly. Joe Banner, Howie behind. You had Howie Roseman and Joe Banner and the owner that Andy had to go through. Andy ain't going through anybody in Kansas City except Clark Hunt. That's his show. Doug Peterson, he ain't going through Trent Baalke. You know what Trent Baalke is? Hey, man, shit, some of the Niner guys in here know this. That guy destroyed the 49er team that Jim Harbaugh built. Hey, Trent, go get me a cup of coffee and a donut. That's pressure. Because you want to assert yourself with your team. Nick Sirianni wins the NFC Championship, then you get into a position where, guess what? You can make more calls on your team. See, I think Nick's going to – watch this. I want to make it very clear. I don't think Nick and Howie are going to have the same type of adversarial relationship that Doug and him had unless you start losing. When you pay the quarterback and you don't have the same team and you start losing, Howie's going to come down on you, bro. You want to think that clear before you start pushing your weight around. And that's exactly what happened in Philadelphia with Doug Peterson. Doug started pushing his weight around. They ran him out of the building. Not going to happen. I don't care if you won a Super Bowl or not. Okay? You do not have more say than our front office. Our front office runs this thing. And if you don't like it, you can leave. And he left. That's what happened. I want to see how Nick handles success. I want to see how Nick handles it. Tones goes, here's the thing. Yes, Nick Sirianni coached his ass off this season, 14-3, but everyone knows that this Super Bowl is really the Howie and Jalen Bowl. Yes? Howie put all the bullets in the gun and built it. He told Sirianni where to shoot. Amen and right on point. That is my take. That's right, Tone. That's exactly right. If Nick Sirianni shoots and misses, he falls back a peg. I don't care how many wins you have, because it'll be a lost season. This is win it or lose it. You can't have it both ways. So the pressure, I'll get to Kyle Shanahan here in a minute. But Nick, do better win. Joseph, you're my boy. Thank you for coming aboard. Hey, and by the way, do I think Nick's capable of it? Do I think Nick may handle his situation better than Doug? I do. I think there's a better potential working relationship. Because here's the one thing. We haven't seen losing yet outside of last year when they were 2-5. Kyle Shanahan. Kyle, 28-0. Do I have to say any more? Kyle, 28-0. What an albatross around your neck, dude. I don't know what's worse, the Kelly 4 loss Super Bowls or 28-0. Holy shit. You had to go down 28-0. 28-0, you had to go down. Vet goes, Sirianni will be fine. He took a 4-11-1 team. That Howie lit on fire. 2-9. Okay. Vet, that's your opinion. Thank you very much, though, dude. Nick will be fine. You missed the whole point. You missed the entire point. Kyle Shanahan, 28-0. Do I really have to say anything else? Watch this. Kyle's been to 3 of the last 4 NFC championship games. Okay? 28-0, Kyle. And here's something else, too. You ready? You gave up 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance. Why? Kyle Shanahan, 28-0, and Trey Lance. Dude, you got 2 cement shoes on. If you lose this football game, dude, you keep telling me he's a great coach. Great coaches win championships. So is he Marty Schottenheimer? Marty Schottenheimer shit the bed in the postseason. Kyle Shanahan's the next Marty Schottenheimer. You know, Marty Schottenheimer won 206 games. I think he's 6th all-time on the list. And he's 4-16 or 4-14 in the postseason. Dude, you got to win one of these things. You gave up 3 ones for one-play Trey, who I said from the beginning, why are you doing this? This guy has no game film. You know, you have to pull YouTube to see any of his plays. And he plays against nobodies in college. Holy cow. There's not even a fair evaluation on him. Kyle gave up 3 ones to move into the Miami 2 spot. Dude, one play Trey, you gave up 3 ones for that, and Mr. Irrelevant is taking you to the NFC title game along with Garoppolo, who was the 2nd-round pick that you got from New England. And you gave up 3 ones. And you know what the evaluation is right now on Trey Lance? You couldn't get more than a 3rd-rounder for him. What? They gave up 3 ones. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch wanted this guy. One play Trey. Dude, I think the guy sucks. Okay, but that's another. I have to worry about that till next year. Kyle Shanahan, you better win, man. Dude, you got a lot of pressure on your ass, too. Well, he gets bounced in the NFC title game again. Almost right there, aren't you, Kyle? He's the almost guy. What was Kyle Shanahan's career? The almost guy. Not quite his dad. Right? And his dad's a consultant for the Niners. Three first-rounders to get into the 2-hole to get Trey Lance. How dumb. All right. Let me move on to this one. Purdy versus Hurts. Who has the more pressure on him come Sunday? Hurts or Purdy? Who do you think? Hurts or Purdy? Hurts, Purdy, Hurts. I hope Watson pays off too. That's really a good question. I don't know, says Tone. Hurts? You said the Eagles would be in the Super Bowl back in August. Thank you. I've already picked them. Hurts. Okay, since we got a lot of Hurts, let me go there first. On his pressure. Is it an amount? Is it how we see him? He changes narrative. He's been an underdog his entire career. He came into Philadelphia and every one of you booed the pick. Tone, even you. Everyone booed the pick. It wasn't brought in here for any other reason but to be a security blanket in case something went sideways. Was never drafted, was never really evaluated to be a starter in this league. So nobody in here lie. I went back and looked at all the Reddit boards and I went back and looked at all the people and what they said. Jalen Hurts, second pick. Tone goes, I sure did scratch my head about that pick. I was confused. Tone, you're in line with 50,000 other people. Of course, Benson, you're the only one on the planet who thought it was a great pick at 2. Look how people try changing the narrative because they see the kids playing now, so they'll lie. Okay? No one liked the pick. Yell goes, they needed a backup quarterback. That's what he was drafted for. He wasn't drafted to be the starter. Hurts has played himself into this. By the way, Hurts he never won the job. They gave it to him. That's why the question marks were there. The question marks were there because he never earned it. It was given to him. Avonte Maddox, it's official, is going to be playing in the NFC Championship game. Great depth. That's awesome. Good for him. So Avonte Maddox will be playing in the NFC Championship game. Anytime you could put another valued player in your defense and in your second, my question will be conditioning. My question will be game speed. How fast can he get up there? This is the NFC Championship game. He's missed quite a bit of football. Hey, Tone, I want to be exact. How many months did he miss of football? I may have been wrong when I said 3 months. How many months did he miss of football? Was it longer than 3? He's been out a long time. He played on Christmas. Okay, so it's weeks. It's not months. So he's probably missed a month of football. Is that fair? W2, is that fair? He's missed about what? 5 or 6 games? That sound right? 5 or 6 games? That's not terrible. But how much conditioning was he able to do? You know, I still think it's good getting him back. About a month of ball, right? Yeah, Christmas time, he wouldn't be playing every week after that. Well, Christmas 4 games? Sounds like that, right? About 4 games he missed. That's not terrible. Saints, Giants, 3 games. That's totally not terrible. 4.5 weeks, he's probably still in really good shape. So he'll be a factor. I thought it was longer. I must be thinking of CJ. I must have got that mixed up a bit. That's great news because if he's only missed 3.5 weeks and only missed 3 games, he's probably in really good shape. Yeah. Seals, do you think the Eagles can beat the Bengals? I think the winner of the NFC Championship game is going to win the Super Bowl. And by the way, Now that you got Maddox in there, I would make the comment to you that Maddox, you put him on George Kittle. Let's see. CJ on McCaffrey, Maddox on Kittle. Kittle's more physical, though. It's a physical mismatch. Still, of all the guys back there, the guy that Debo on Bradbury, CJ on McCaffrey, Maddox on Kittle, Bradbury on Debo. Boy, this is going to be a great football game, man. See, I think Maddox is too small, too, to cover Kittle. I think you just throw it over there, and he's just bigger. Yeah, but I know Maddox is a physical player, but so is George Kittle, but he's 6'5". That is no matter if you were Ryan Shazier or you were whomever, when you play Gronk, he's 6'6", 270. No matter how physical you are, you're physically not lined up against him. He's physically bigger than you. No way Maddox could cover Christian McCaffrey. No way. I'd put CJ on McCaffrey. I want a better cover an athlete with an athlete. And I'm not saying Avonte Maddox is not a good athlete, but I think CJ's a better athlete. Okay? I think he's a better athlete. So I want to go athlete. Bradbury on Debo, CJ on McCaffrey, Avonte with some help maybe with TJ Edwards on Kittle. That's how I'd go about approaching it. Because the Eagles are going to struggle covering people out of the backfield. They have all year. Okay? Seals, imagine Ray Lewis covering Kittle. Whew. Dude, that guy Roquan Smith in Baltimore, I think could cover him. And for the record, one of the things that I want to see Fred Warner. I think Fred Warner is a great ball player. He ain't Ray Lewis, though. But I want to see him cover Goddard. Goddard's going to take that personal. I want to watch that. That, to me, the things I'm going to be – here, guys. I know I got off topic on Hurts and Purdy, and I'll get to Purdy here in a minute. Let me make a note here. Finish up on Jalen, then Purdy. I want to watch Lane versus Boza. I want to watch Bradbury versus Debo. Now, here's something I want to. Do you think they'll switch and flip Bradbury and Slay? I don't think Slay. I think Bradbury's had a better year. I know Slay made the Pro Bowl, but is it me? But I just rather have Bradbury. I think Bradbury's a better player. You know, I think Bradbury's better. He just, to me, looks like he had a more consistent year from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. I think Slay was good all the way up until like the middle of the season. And he was spotty after that. Okay, he's spotty after that. Drew, I think it's a big deal too, Drew. I thought he missed more time, Avonte, but he hasn't. I'm wrong. Okay? But I want to see either Slay or Bradbury on Debo. I want to see how they're going to cover McCaffrey. And this Kittle battle is going to be a great one. And I do think the Fred Warner and the Goddard battle is going to be something to keep an eye on. Tone goes, I'd put Bradbury on Debo and Slay on Ayuk. Yes? Body versus body. Yeah. That's Tone, you're seeing the same stuff I am here. That's exactly how Avonte more on a Kittle and a CJ more on McCaffrey because he's a really good athlete. The kid Gardner Johnson's a really good looking athlete. Seals, who would you double team? Bosa. I'd have Goddard, and I would have Lane Johnson pound him into the ground. I'd run the freaking ball right at him. I would run at him, run at him, run at him, run at him. If I could take a hammer in the game, I would hit him with it. Just keep pounding at this guy. Don't let him get off the – and chip him. Goddard's a physical dude. Just run at Bosa. And get this, I'd even do crackback blocks on him. Legally, above the waist. I'd run counter trays at him. Where you had Goddard coming back and running counter tray blocks on him. Dude, kick his ass. Put his dick in the dirt. Okay? Paul Pelosi hammer. Quite funny. But not very. Do you see the Eagles double teaming Bosa with the tight end and pass pro? Tone, I don't know that. I think in the run game they should double team him because I think they should try to wear him out. But I think also, too, that the 49ers are going to test and see how healthy Lane is. He wasn't tested last week at all. The Giants didn't have anybody. Giants had nobody. Okay, they really didn't. Avonte Maddox being back out there, though, gives you a physical presence across the middle of the field. Okay, that middle's not going to be as wide open when you have a guy like that in there because he's a hitter. Okay, he's a hitter. And when you have a hitter out there, and look, you have to understand something about the Eagle defense. As good as all the stats are, Pro Football Focus ranks them the third worst tackling team in the league. Okay, they're the third worst tackling team. And he's not a bad tackler. Like Hassan Reddick's a terrible tackler. But that's not what he's been designed to do. He's been designed to kill quarterbacks, and he has. To an elite level. To an elite level. Bosa will line up against Mulata. That's what I would do, Yale. Why would I put my best player against the best player in the O-line and negate that? That makes zero sense. That makes zero sense. I'm finding weakness in attacking with my star, not negating him. I never found, like, watch this. If I'm the 49ers, I'm not putting it. Or if I'm the Eagles, I'm not putting Hassan Reddick over Trent Williams. Why would I do that? I'd put him over the lesser tackle. I'd put him over the right tackle. Let him rush the passer there. Let Purdy see the pressure. Okay? Let Purdy see the pressure. And you could do spy blitzes on the backside on Trent. Trent's a really great football player, though. Trent, I'd say this about Mulata, Jess. I think Mulata, if I had to give him a grade this year on the kind of year he had, a B. Like, watch this. For the O-line, and I think it had a lot to do with his injury. I'd say this. Mulata had a B. Landon Dickerson had an A. Kelsey, A. Seumalo, I think he played B too. Lane, A. Dude, look at that. B's and A. 3 A's and a B. Dude, you got the – that's as good as it gets. Watch this. There's not an offensive line you could do that to in the NFL. Except, well, the Niners not even. You don't have that kind of talent. Center's decent. Left guard's good. Right guard's okay. Right tackle's okay. Left tackle's spectacular. Yeah, and I would say when Zach Martin retires, I think Landon Dickerson's probably going to be the all-pro guy there for the next 3 seasons. Richard goes, Paisan, you're right on your points. They're just hating. Hey, Richard, always know this. It's okay if they're hating on me. It's called engagement. It doesn't bother me. The stuff that people say on my Twitter, Richard, I don't care. That's why I don't respond. If it bugged me, I'd respond, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. They call me every name in the book. They say things about my kid. I don't care. I don't show it to her, but I don't care. I mean, it doesn't. One of the greatest lessons I learned from Tim, I interviewed Tim Tebow once, and somehow the LSU fans got a hold of Tim Tebow's cell phone number, and they said they were going to do all these horrific mother. Tebow goes like this: "That's football fans in the South, passionate LSU fans." That's how I look at it. It's all good. No pity. You kidding me? I don't give a shit about that. Pity. Richard, it's not a big deal. Okay? Joseph, you know better than that. You kidding me? Dude, you think I'm Ben Simmons? Hey, Tone, I think some of these people in here think I'm Ben Simmons. Oh. I'm not Ben Simmons, dude. It's shit. That fuel, don't you? Hey, the more people talk shit on me, the more it fuels me. It bugs my aunt. Okay? It bugs my aunt. But for me, it fuels me. It's all good, man. That's all right, Bob. It's not a biggie. As long as my kid don't say it, it's all right. Jeremiah, it's all right. It's all right. You'd be socked. Anyway, let me get back. And you know what? Purdy, here's the thing with Hurts, too. If Hurts wins the NFC Championship, do you guys not agree? Let me finish this up. If Hurts wins the NFC Championship, you think they start addressing the money in the bye week of the Super Bowl? Thank you, Brian. Do you? I do. There's nothing left the kid needs to do. He's proved his point, even to me. He wins that game Sunday. Okay? I'm going to make a point to you guys. I know some of you probably are going to be shocked that I'll say this. If he wins that game Sunday, he's proven a point to me. Okay? He's proven a point. I'm the most difficult person on the planet to change an opinion on. Okay? I had to change my opinion on Lamar Jackson. Okay? If he wins that game on Sunday, Jalen Hurts have proved his point. Okay? Until you say congrats, he beat a backup. I don't think Purdy's a backup. I'll tell you why here in a minute. Okay? Dank. He blocked me. Who? Seals, if Hurts wins the Super Bowl, does he run the league? They don't want you, Jeremiah. How are the 49ers and the Eagles not the main show on Sunday? The main show are the two face guys. Jeremiah, there's nothing Jalen Hurts can do to be the face of the league. Nothing. They want Mahomes, and they want Allen, or they want Burrow. For whatever reason. Okay? And it'll be a chip on Jalen's shoulder. He'll never be the face of the league. He'll never be. Never be. It's unfortunate. They pick and choose which guy they want to be the face of the league. Mahomes is that guy. Mahomes, rightfully so. He's built a resume up. Okay? He's built a resume. I mean, this guy's going to win his second MVP award. He's got a Super Bowl MVP. He's been to 5 conference championships. Hard not to look at that and go, wow. And now you got Joe Burrow in his second straight AFC championship game, and he was a quarter away from winning the Super Bowl. Tone goes, the only way Hurts becomes the face of the league if he wins back-to-back Super Bowls. Okay, well, let me ask you this. You think Troy Aikman was ever the face of the NFL? Running that kind of offense? You think Troy Aikman was ever the face of the NFL? Winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years? You think he was face of the Super Bowl? You think he was face of the league? Look at Tone before my time. Yeah, okay. Wait, he won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Troy Aikman was never the face of the league. They want big number guys. Why? Gamblers don't like, well, how does a fantasy football guy not like Jalen Hurts? The value you get with Jalen, boy, I'll tell you what, the gambling factor may elevate Jalen. I didn't think about that. You know what? The gambling may elevate Jalen because fantasy-wise, that guy's got to be one of the top guys if you're a fantasy football, which means prop bets, right? Hey, man, gambling may propel him. Gambling may push him up there. Who was the face of the league during the Aikman time? I think it was Michael Vick. I think it was Vick. Let's see, 89, 90. Dion? Who was the face of the league during the Cowboy dynasty? It wasn't anybody on that Cowboy team. It wasn't Sanders. I don't think it was Barry Sanders. That's a great question, Tone. Who was the face of the league at that time? It wasn't Vic, because Vic was a little after that. It wasn't anybody on the Bills. I don't think was it Favre? I think it was very good. RJ. It was Favre. It was Favre. Brett Favre was the face of the league. Yep. During that time. Everyone loved Brett Favre. John Madden used to go nuts with him on broadcast. It was Favre, then Vic. Right. It was Favre, then Vic. That's how the progression went. Right. I want to say they made that trade from Atlanta to the Packers in 90? 93? Does that sound right? Like that? Montana was all the way up until 90. I don't think Joe. That's hard to say, man. It was Favre kind of. 92, they made the trade. Yeah, Favre played during the Cowboy dynasty. Okay. Favre played during the Cowboy dynasty. Maybe Elway at the end of his career. Okay. But Jalen can't be the face of the franchise. Tone says he wins back-to-back. You put him in rare air. Okay. Or this one too, Tone. 2 and 3 years. If they're able to do that. But get this. Nobody in Philadelphia has ever been the face of the league. Possibly Reggie White. Possibly. Okay, possibly. Let me finish this topic that we threw at you here. Here's why Purdy's got a lot of pressure on him Sunday. This guy shits the bed and implodes. You're back to a quarterback's competition in San Francisco. You may have all 3 guys back, and they may determine who to go out there and go like this. Well, Purdy's a backup. Dude, he looks like a backup quarterback on Sunday. His future is back to where it started at the beginning of the season, Mr. Irrelevant. He's the 3rd guy in the conversation for the quarterback next year going into 2023. And he still might keep Garoppolo because Lance is on a rookie contract. Okay, remember, you don't have to get rid of Trey Lance. Trey Lance is on a rookie deal. Jimmy G is a free agent. He's probably going to go somewhere, Jets, somewhere like that. I don't know, wherever. He's going to get a starting job. Could go to Carolina. He could go to Carolina with Frank. He could go to Indy. He's going to have options. Garoppolo needs to go to a team that runs the ball, in my opinion. And what better when you got Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis? Okay? I could see Carson Wentz going back to Carolina. I could see Carson Wentz going to Carolina with Frank. I mean, like I said, when Carson Wentz was in Indianapolis, the pill popper was so stupid he didn't see what he had in front of him. Guy threw for 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, 97 quarterback rating, 67% completion percentage. Wentz had a great year and went 9-8. He lost the Jags game. Well, just get this. Well, the Jags started their playoff run beating the Colts the year previous. They were actually a good team. They had a shitty coach at Urban Meyer. There was actually good football players on that team. Meyer was just a terrible coach. Urban liar. Absolutely. I know Big Silsby smoke. Bruce. Brian, right? Jim Irsay. Open bottles. Can you imagine an NFL player? So you have open bottle pills of oxycodone, a prescription pad, and $35,000 in your passenger seat when a cop pulls you over. Who are you? I'm Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts. I'm Dan Sileo, backup defensive tackle for the Colts. I'm in cuffs. Jim's getting an escort to his house. Yeah. He's getting an escort to his house. Hey, by the way, the more Jeff Saturday hasn't been denied that job in Indy, the more chances I think he gets that job. I think Jeff Saturday's going to get that job, dude. I think he's getting that job. Why don't you just go like this? No, he's not a candidate anymore. Nope. He's got Jeff Saturday still. The longer it goes on, the more he's going to get that gig. Jim Irsay's legend. Hey. I mean, this guy, I tell you what, vet. You want to go party? Jim Irsay's your guy, man. Can you imagine? Whiskey, oxys. What, you don't think there's a couple rails involved there? How you doing? Hey, you don't think there's a couple rails involved with Jim Irsay? Oxys, 30 grand, prescription pads. Right? Hey, man, give me one of them rails. Cops are coming. I need a rail. Yeah, Irsay's riding the slopes. Damn right he is, man. Cut that baby up with my credit card. You see that American Express? The black card works the best. I would hang out with Irsay. Yeah, because he'd pick the bill up. That's the only reason. See here? Maniac, the only reason he wants to hang out with Irsay is because he picked the bill up. Irsay stuck in the 80s. That's classic, man. That's classic. All right, let me take a timeout. We're going to reset, man. We're going to give the predictions you guys pretty much know already. I'm going to do the AFC too. Please do me a favor, guys. I can't wait, man. Championship Friday and Super Sunday coming up on the road to the Super Bowl. AFC and NFC championship games. Awesome stuff. Please hit the like button. Hour 3. Keep it here on the National.